Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Brew podcast. This is the movie edition. As you can see, Nate died. We buried him somewhere. I wasn't lying last time.
He blends in. We just told him that back somewhere.
Yeah. So, apparently, Mr. Sinister is supposed to appear in the new Wolverine movie, Wolverine 3. They haven't really released an actual title for it. So, no one knows if he's going to be a main character or if he's just making an appearance. But my thoughts are he's probably going to be, like, the controller of whatever, like, he's going to be, like, the overseer of, like, everything that's supposed to happen in that movie.
Never really followed Mr. Sinister all that much, so, I mean, I can take it or leave it. It's just so long as they don't ruin another Wolverine movie.
I don't know, I thought both of them were okay.
I didn't care too much for the second one. Or, the Wolverine. The one where he went to Japan.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything special. I think this
Origins movie was better. I liked that one. I like who's the other actor? The Sabretooth. God, his name escapes me, but I like him as an actor.
Wasn't Lee Schreiber, right?
Yeah.
It was Lee Schreiber.
Yeah,
okay.
I like him as an actor. I think they did well together. The only downfall of that movie was Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was awful. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be other villains, like I said, but I definitely have a feeling he's not going to be the face character.
I can't see them going the way of Spider-Man and doing multiple villains. Because Spider-Man tried it and they, for lack of a better term now, they failed. It didn't pan out well. It never does when you add too many characters in one shot.
Yeah, but if you have like another character, I mean like another villain doesn't necessarily mean, you know, with Spider-Man 3 it was 3 villains. So I mean, and
that was too much. That was too much and they didn't do it right in the first place.
Well, I figure you're going to have multiple villains in the new Avengers movies when it can't just be Thanos. It's got to be smaller, like other characters that are working for him, like Loki.
Loki will be back.
But also Loki was already established, so yeah, I can definitely see where you're making the point of he's a new character to people who are watching the movies and don't follow the comics, so for them to introduce him and possibly another character, yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from.
I know of him, I just don't know too much of the backstory, or I don't know enough about him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, we'll see what they do with it.
Kingsman 2 actually finished wrapping.
Kind of excited for that one.
Me too. I mean, for what it was, the first movie, excellent. I definitely think it's better than some James Bond movies.
I think it was underrated.
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of TV spots. It didn't have a lot of publicity to it, but it was a more violent, less kid-friendly James Bond. And
yeah, James Bond itself, I mean, it's not... I don't think they've ever really been rated R, have they?
They have not, to my knowledge. I think it's always been PG-13 or under.
I feel like maybe the last one, the one before it, was like one of the first rated R James Bonds. But yeah, it's always been kind of like all audience kind of thing.
Yeah, this one, Kingsman got a hard R and it deserved it.
Yeah, especially with the whole anal thing at the end. That was pretty hilarious. I'm really excited for it. I thought that was going to be the last of it, and I was really happy when they announced a couple months ago that they were making a sequel. We'll see where the story goes. There's been rumors of who the villain may be.
It's too bad they can't resurrect Sam Jackson.
Yeah, he's definitely gone.
He's dead. No, there's no coming back from that.
Let's see. Also, we have more Super Troopers news. They have been taking pictures actually on their Twitter and everything, and they had a picture of Willie Nelson when they were all in their cop uniforms, and
they would.
The tagline was, "Look who pulled over." Willie Nelson got pulled over by cops. It was pretty funny. And then they just took a picture with Rob Lowe, and apparently he's actually going to be in the movie itself. So I don't know if he'll be playing Rob Lowe or if he'll be playing a character.
But they better watch out for putting him into the movie. They might get it canceled.
I doubt it. Yeah, he does have a very bad past. Although they just did the roast of him not too long ago.
That was the primary joke out of everyone's mouth, is that everything he's ever been in has been canceled.
I thought you were talking about how he had sex with a 16-year-old girl.
I mean, that could come back to bite him in the ass being in a cop movie too, but you know.
Maybe that's what he gets arrested for child pornography. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes, Rob. Let's see, we also have, this is kind of a big one. They just finished, Suicide was just out. I think it's still in theaters. They already announced rumor that Harley Quinn's gonna get her own solo film, and now they've announced that Margot Robbie is going to be co-producing it, which...
Margot Robbie was supposed to be in charge of it overall. She was saying that was going to be her project. That was her thing. I'm not completely opposed to it. I think she pulled off Harley Quinn quite well.
Yeah, I think she did the character well, but do we really need a solo movie of her? And, like, what will they do with it? Like, who will be the hero?
Supposedly, this is all rumors. This is just what I've heard going around the news, rumor grapevine. It's going to be a heroine / villainess version of Justice League. It's going to be the female heroes versus the female villains. So
I think that'd be absolutely stupid.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool watching Batgirl and Catwoman and Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn all in one shot.
Yeah, but you have to establish those characters, and that's kind of going back to what the first part was. Is if you have too many characters in a movie that you haven't established, and this is a prime example is Suicide Squad. It's not going to be a good movie. Unfortunately, you don't have the time to develop those characters to get you interested in them, and then do a whole plot around them. You know,
maybe she's making a love story where she loves him and he just beats her relentlessly.
That's the movie. Is just Joker beating the shit out of her for 2 hours.
I'd pay to see it.
And that's another thing. Will Joker be part of it? Like, will Batman be part of it?
If he is a part of it, it will not be Jared Leto. That's pretty much already been confirmed.
Really? I mean, so is he done with Joker, or...?
He's not necessarily ruling it out, but rumor is going around that he will not be affiliated with Joker for the next foreseeable future.
That's news to me. I did not know that.
Hey, it's good news if it's true news.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, especially with... of course, they're making the Batman movie, and we talked about last week how they have Deathstroke as one of the characters in it. Whether or not we'll see Joker or anyone else that we know of, especially since they've rebooted the Batman universe in this movie with the whole, it's like the Justice League universe now. So we'll see, I guess.
They're giving him a whole new suit too.
Who?
Batman.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a new suit for let's say Deathstroke proof bat suit.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it just doesn't look like that walking tank armor that he had on in BVS.
See, I was okay with that because you got to figure Superman's punch could
yeah,
really fucking
but
kill
it
you.
looked and sounded ridiculous, and you know it did. It was.
I mean, it did look like he had a giant lead suit on, but I thought that definitely fit well with going against a character like Superman.
It would have been better if he would have just had the kryptonite gloves.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking where they were going to go with that movie, and I guess the whole kryptonite spear is the route they went, and also the kryptonite tear gas stuff was pretty fucking cool, too.
Yeah.
I definitely like that, but I'm really excited to see where they take that. I'm not so excited to see where Harley Quinn's movie goes. I will probably watch it because it's
I'm not excited, more so interested. I'm interested to see what they do with it, because there's only so much you can really do with that character without the Joker. Without Poison Ivy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is she going to be like more of a Deadpool character? I guess maybe a female Deadpool in the respect that she will be like the anti-hero going up against a villain.
Maybe. Oh, we'll see.
We also just watched the Moana trailer that just came out yesterday, which was, well, depending on when this comes out, so maybe 2 days from now, 3 days from now. But it actually looks really good. I'm actually excited for this.
Disney's been pulling their shit together, man. They
Well, in the last couple movies, I think they fell short.
No, Finding Dory was good.
I didn't really care to watch it.
Oh, you're terrible. It was infinitely better than the first one.
It was better than Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, I like that one better than I did the first one.
Well, I guess I'll have to rent it and watch it or wait for Redbox.
You're gonna have to watch it a couple more times. What's the other one that they did that it was really, really good?
Did they do Good Dinosaur?
Unfortunately, they did.
Yeah, and the best friend giant or whatever.
Okay, so we're going like brand new now.
Yeah, because Moana's brand new.
That's fine. I mean,
they had really, Lion King in '94, which was great.
I will honestly admit that I haven't seen any of the brand new stuff. I haven't seen the
BFG.
Peach Dragon. I haven't seen BFG. They just got terrible reviews, and I didn't feel like wasting my money was a wise decision on those.
Yeah, I heard both of them tanked. And they
all
lost a lot of money.
For a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to go see it, I'd have to wait.
I think when they do live action, sticking with the original stories and converting them to live action, like they're doing Beauty and the Beast, that they've done with Cinderella, and we've talked about this before, but I think they do really well with, except for Good Dinosaur, they do a lot of good animation movies, and they should really stick with it.
But they're hit or miss, though, because some of their live action shit's really good, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're previous storylines. Yeah.
What's the other one? The Great Powerful Oz.
Okay.
They were all great, and then you put out stuff that's going to tank in theaters. You had the right idea, you're just not doing it. Red Jungle Book. That was amazing.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you Jungle Book definitely. And there are hit and miss, but they've had a lot of misses lately. Is what I'm trying to get to.
No, they have. I'll give you that. Moana looks like it's going to be one on the hit side, though.
And it's a fresh story. I mean, it's not a. I mean, it may be a retelling of an old story, blah blah blah, but it's a new Disney story. Yep. It's not like a Jungle Book or Maleficent or Peach Dragon, even where they redid the story. It's a fresh new idea that looks really good. Dwayne Johnson plays the voice of Maui, I think his name is, who's like a demigod, which looks awesome. The animation looks really crisp.
I like how they're going to the other side of the world for this one, with the Polynesian culture. I like that culture.
And it's something they haven't done in a while. Yeah. It's something they haven't done in a while. I mean, they've done, like, Ratatouille, which I think was supposed to be, like, in France.
Yeah.
They've done Lion King in Africa. They've done, what is the Asian one? Mulan. Beauty and the Beast, I think, was set in, like, England, like, old France. Was it France as well? Peanut Guy is France, they're the Disney experts. So, you've definitely had, like, different realms, but they haven't really branched off into Polynesia, which is awesome.
They've never touched that side of the world. They even did, you talked many years ago, but they even did The Rescuers. They went to Australia.
Yeah.
So, I think that's, like, one of the only places in the world that they haven't touched yet.
Yeah. I'm glad. Maybe they'll, I guess they've already done, like, the moon with, like, Stitch and stuff, so. Space.
Kind of. I guess you could, yeah. Now they gotta do something like, the center of the earth. They need to do, like, a Journey to the Center of the Earth-esque Disney take on it.
Who did that anyway? That was...
Brendan Fraser. That was,
Was that Warner Brothers or... Sony? Who did that movie? That wasn't Disney.
I'd have to look it up. It was not Disney.
Okay.
It was definitely not Disney.
Whatever happened to the third movie of that? Wasn't it supposed to be To the Moon or whatever? At the end of the second one?
They rumored at it in the movie. I don't think it's going to happen just because the second one didn't do all that great. I enjoyed both of them, but, you know.
I thought they were okay.
They were entertaining. But they really... I can't see them doing a moon one.
It'd be difficult to make it like, I mean, these movies aren't realistic, but make it believable. Yeah,
they made the first two believable.
Exactly.
They made it a logical reason of why he's seeing Atlantis. They made a logical reason of why they're in the center of the earth. I can't think of a real logical reason to send them to the moon.
Or how they would play it out, because you interact with a lot of different creatures and things in Atlantis and Journey to the Center of the Earth. So to go to the moon, it's like, I found a moon rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you could develop a species that lives up there that no one knows about, blah blah blah. But
now you're leaking into Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, we're not going to go to that. So another trailer that came out this week was Annabelle 2. The first one was not that great.
Yeah, I think there was one scene in that entire movie that even slightly creeped me out, when they were. The woman was in the elevator, in the apartment complex, and he just kept taking her up and down and kept opening it at the same floor.
Was that the one where she's like in the eerie ass basement?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
That part creeped me out. Other than that, the movie really didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Which is sad, coming from the two Conjuring movies, which were both incredible.
I mean, the first one was definitely really great. The second one, I was okay with. Very...
A little slow paced.
Yeah, definitely.
A little slow paced.
It was good enough though to hold me over. Annabelle, when I was really excited when it came out. I watched it and I was really disappointed.
It wasn't what it should have been.
The trailer for the second one looks okay. But my hopes are not there for it. Like I'm not excited to see it.
See, I'm kind of getting a little tired of seeing prequels that don't need to be prequels.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they kind of explain the story almost
you brought
in the
that
first
up.
Conjuring and in the first Annabelle.
You brought that up that it kind of does look like a prequel.
Yeah,
the little girl's sitting there and her mother comes in with the cross and she's going to, I guess, depossess her child. And you think it's the doll possessed, and all of a sudden the girl freezes and starts cracking her neck like she's possessed, and
then disappears.
And it really, you start hearing all kinds of weird, unnatural sounds coming from where the daughter was sitting, and the mother's standing there horrified, drops the cross. It almost looks like that you were right, like the demon's possessing the daughter, and that's how it leaks into the doll in the first place.
Not only that, but I think we're pretty adamant and agree upon that. At the end of Annabelle, they show the doll in the case.
Yeah,
that's
a dead giveaway.
Okay.
That's a dead giveaway, because at the end of Annabelle, the doll is given over to the Warrens, and she's placed in the do not remove case.
Yeah, do not open.
And she's in the case at the end of the first Annabelle. So I said, other than it being a prequel, no idea how they can, unless somebody breaks into the Warrens' house and takes it.
It's a possibility, but I don't think anyone will go that far. I guess we'll see when it comes out. I definitely think it's the lead up until how the doll got possessed, and I think the whole plot line is going to be them kind of exorcising this demon from this little girl who is called Annabelle, and that spirit moves on to the doll and possesses it, and that's where the whole story kind of begins. But I guess we'll see. You brought up a trailer actually that I was not aware of, that it's even a movie.
I had actually seen tidbits and little pieces of information dropped over the last couple of months about that. And the first time I saw it, it kind of reminded me of a mixture of a few different movies, but it's put together so well, and it just screams creepy that I gotta see it.
Yeah, the Bye Bye Man looks really creepy. It reminds me of, I don't know if you ever saw, it's on Netflix, The Babadook.
Yes.
Which was...
Absolutely.
Me and my girlfriend watched it, and it was an okay movie. It wasn't that great.
It wasn't, but it had a creep factor to it.
And a little bit of a lot of the other horror stories that are out there, or movies, if you want to call it. But yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that I'm going to want to watch. I just watched Blair Witch last night when it opened up, and I understand everyone's like hatred towards that series and thought this movie was going to be terrible. It actually wasn't that terrible. There's a lot of good parts to it. I'll be putting out a review within the next couple of days as well for it. It's not that bad. Give it a shot.
I'll take your word on it, and I'll wait till Redbox.
That's fine. So they also Godzilla. We just had the new Godzilla. What was it, last year?
I really don't know how I feel about that.
So they have TOHO, who is the Japanese creative team behind Japanese Godzilla movies. We have like Sony or whoever, or
I think it's Sony.
Is it Sony, or is it one of the who the fuck is it? The people who also do King Kong and
Universal.
It's not DreamWorks, is it?
No,
or is it Universal? Okay, so I think it's Universal then who owns the rights now to Godzilla over here. So it's not that.
It would have to be, because they just announced a King Kong versus Godzilla movie.
Yeah, so you're right. And they're also supposed to do the Pacific Rim tie-in as well, but I think that got canned. So it's not Universal's story, it's TOHO's, who are the original development team around it. We're actually going to be, in the US, getting a limited run of Godzilla Resurgence, I think it's called, which I think over there it's called Shin Godzilla. So we're going to get, I don't know if it's going to be, I know it's not going to be redubbed. There's not going to be English voices, but I think it's going to be subtitled. We watched the trailer. It's just exactly how a Japanese trailer would be. It's very...
There is no dialogue.
Yeah.
Just loud, almost ritualistic drumming, and lots of explosions, and
you don't really get a glimpse of Godzilla.
You get a very, what would you say, 10, 20 miles away?
Yeah, kind of.
In the distance.
But he looks very much like our US Godzilla.
I'll give you that. Yes, he does. But Not a huge fan of the old Japanese Godzillas. Just because they're just so cheesy. I just can't.
It's a particular taste.
It really is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, I know it's a dude in a really bad, cheap rubber and styrofoam suit ripping apart a model city that's probably like a fraction of his size, just steps all over stuff. I just the dubbing, oh god.
See, I don't think that's the case though for this movie.
It's not going to get dubbed. It's going to be the Japanese language with English subtitles.
No, I definitely agree with you on that, but I don't think it's going to be a guy in a suit this one. I think they went into the CG with this one. You think so? I think so. With the quality of images that I saw of the movie, I think it's gonna lean more towards CGI stuff.
But it still looks like
it's like a cheesy Godzilla movie. Yeah,
it still looks like a horrible. I wouldn't even call it a B movie. Like C, maybe D.
Bollywood.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. If I get a chance and it's in the area, I definitely want to go watch it.
That one I'll take your word on. I can't.
All right, so we also have Henry Cavill. I don't know if I pronounced his last name correct. I really don't care. He plays Superman in the new universe. His manager apparently has confirmed that there will be a Man of Steel sequel. So just like Batman's getting his own movie, Superman will get his own movie. Again, whether it's going to be post or pre-Justice League, I highly doubt it's going to be pre-Justice League.
I would assume it had to be post, considering he died in... which one did he die in? BVS?
BVS, yeah.
So he's dead in BVS. So to make another Man of Steel, it would probably have to be after Justice League because he was announced as dead in Justice League.
Yeah, so they split Justice League up into two movies, very much like Avengers and all the other movies that are splitting up. He will be back definitely for the second part of Justice League. Whether or not he's going to be resurrected in Justice League Part 1, I have a feeling at the end they'll show him, and then it'll kind of like cut to black and to be continued.
So is this like them heading into the Death and Return of Superman storyline?
Well, yeah, it already kind of was in BVS, where he dies by Doomsday. He literally dies by Doomsday. They basically kill each other. He gets put into the ground. I've watched there's multiple storylines of Death of Superman, kind of. There's the one with the comics. There's one with like the animated one where he gets brought back by the sunlight from the sun, which I think is still in the comics as well, but it's more like Lex Luthor cloned him. It's like this weird fucking story, but he's gonna come back, and they even kind of hinted at it at the end of BVS where they show the coffin and the dirt starts floating above it. So I have a feeling if they do Man of Steel, it could be an in-between movie, just like Batman's gonna be possibly an in-between movie as well between the two Justice Leagues, or they could just run them back to back.
Absolutely be set after Suicide Squad.
Oh, absolutely. Well, for Batman
maybe not. That one I can see going either way. Superman, it has to be set at least after. I mean, maybe before Justice League, but it definitely has to be set after Suicide Squad.
Well, unless they do some kind of prequel, which I highly doubt, considering Man of Steel was his like origin story and coming of. Then that literally led into BVS. Yeah. So if they're going to do Justice League next, it's going to have to either be in between Justice League 1 and 2 or after Justice League 2 for Man of Steel. Batman could be anywhere. I mean, they kind of already told that Batman was already a figure in Gotham for quite some time. Obviously, one of the Robins has died now. So he's got plenty of story to work from behind.
You know what's upsetting about that? Is they never even bothered to bring Robin into play before they killed him off.
Well, you got to figure there's 3 or I think 4. Counting his son.
They never brought a Robin into the new series.
No, yeah.
But he's magically dead and the suit's there.
Well, yeah, because like I said, Batman has had a lot of time working in Gotham, so his story is rich compared to Superman, where Superman is kind of newer in this universe.
I don't know. I still feel kind of cheated that Robin's now dead and you never even saw Robin in any of the reboots, any of the newer, the Nolan versions.
Well, they kind of had Joseph Gordon-Levitt, whose name was Robin.
But it wasn't. I mean, everybody knew, but it wasn't they didn't just come out and say this is Robin, or they didn't pick up where that left off. And you know, Batman's retired, and he picks up. You know, it could have been Nightwing.
Well, that's the thing. So you have in the comics, you have 4 different Robins. You have Tim Drake, who later on becomes Nightwing. You have this is fucking leaving my mind, and I don't know why.
Red Hood was.
Tim Drake. Oh fuck. Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson was the first
becomes Nightwing, right? And then Tim Drake. I don't know. There's a couple of them, and then the last one that they've had recently has been his son, who he had with Talia al Ghul. So Damian Wayne. Yes. Who's now the new Robin? Who's like pint-sized Robin, but he's been trained by the Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's al Ghul was
trained by League of Shadows, basically.
So you have those. So we already know that Jason Todd, that's the other one. Jason Todd is the one that always dies in the comics. So that they've already said Jason. Well, they kind of alluded to Jason Todd is the dead Robin in this universe. So if they do move forward with a Robin, maybe Tim Drake, maybe Dick Grayson, maybe Damian, but I highly doubt it's going to be Damian.
It's a little late in the line for Dick Grayson.
He could be Nightwing. They can bring him in as...
Yeah, I guess they could. I mean, it just gets under my skin that Robin's suit was in BVS, and he was shown as dead, and you never saw any of them.
They also have a 5th one. It's a female. I can't remember her name either. So there's 5, huh?
Robina.
Yeah, Robina. So we'll see. I definitely would like to see a Robin, just like in all the other rebooted superhero
You know when
movies.
he should have been brought in Dark Knight with the Joker and Two-Face. That is when he should have been brought in. But if they had to do it correctly, if they would have done it correctly and brought him in, you would have
had a longer story and it wouldn't have made sense.
I don't know.
I think
what's his face? Tim Burton managed to do it. Was that him? No, that wasn't him, was it?
Yeah, I think Tim Burton did all those old movies. Talking about the one with like Val Kilmer or George Clooney.
I think Forever. Yeah, Forever is when they first brought Robin in. It kind of made sense. It was,
played by Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, it was a quick entrance. I mean, the movie was
the whole
awful.
The whole first 15 minutes is not. I don't know if it's the first 15 minutes, but there's a whole 15 20-minute scene of his family dying in the circus, and then he takes him in.
But how hard was that for? I mean, that would be 15 minutes out of your movie going career. That would be 15 minutes out of a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah, but would it fit into the story is like what I'm trying to get at. Like, you already had the build-up of the Joker, the build-up of Two-Face, and everything going on. It would have been way too much. I definitely agree. There has to be a Robin soon. It's getting kind of stale with only having Batman. Whether or not you do
it's getting to the
Tim
point
Drake
it's getting to the point now
Grayson.
where I'm kind of rooting for the villains to kick the shit out of Batman. I love Batman, but I mean, it's the same old recipe. Just Batman comes in, sees villain, kicks villain's ass, movie ends. It's not fun to watch anymore.
So the last piece of news that we really have, so we're going to go off topic with this. You brought up that it's rumored that Mad Max Fury Road, their prequel...
Strictly a rumor.
Strictly a rumor. We're not too sure. We've heard in the dark webs of the internet, if you want to call it,
that old interwebs.
That the prequel is filming, and it's called Mad Max Wasteland. And not filming, it started pre-production. So that'll be interesting. That movie was really, really well done. It was one of the top movies of 2015. I believe, what the fuck is his name now? His name always blanks my head. Who played Mad Max? Tom
Hardy.
Tom Hardy, who actually, we just saw a trailer for a TV show he's in on FX, which is weird. But he did so well in that role, and he only had like 15, 20 dialogue lines, I think.
Something like that. He didn't speak very much, but Mad Max, even when Mel Gibson was playing Mad Max, he never...
Yeah, that was the
never
character.
said much of anything. Yeah. He just he did what he did. And, I mean, I'm not gonna knock the movie. I did enjoy it, but I was definitely a fan of the originals. I like the the Gibson versions. I liked.
See, I've yet to watch them. I actually bought the whole like trilogy pack.
Oh, I loved Thunderdome, dude. Thunderdome was amazing.
So I definitely want to get on top of watching that. But yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see where this one heads to. Apparently, there's going to be 3 or 4 of these movies. One with The Wasteland. There's going to be apparently a spin-off film with
Wasn't there supposed to be
Charlize Theron. What was her character name?
Fuck, what was her name?
It's going to bother me now.
It was some, like, really strange name. I can't remember that. I only watched the movie once.
But yeah, she's supposed to get a spin-off, I heard.
Yeah, she's supposed to get her
There's supposed to be
thing.
a full sequel after Mad Max. So there's a couple movies in the works, apparently. I'm kind of glad they're doing Wasteland. I'd like to see a prequel of this movie to tell more of the story. Hopefully it's going to be focused mostly on Mad Max. Maybe this will be her story. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think so. I think Wasteland's going to be somewhat of a direct sequel. I can't see this being her movie yet.
Yeah.
It's coming.
All right, well, that's it. Come follow us to our gaming and /TV, because there's not much gaming news, unfortunately, podcast.
A few more weeks.
It'll be, a few more weeks and we'll actually get more gaming.
weeks and it's going to explode.
But we'll get more to it. Just follow us over to the next one and enjoy. Don't forget to go follow us through Facebook, Twitter. Go check out our website where we'll be updating a lot more stuff. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Share with your friends and families. Tell everyone to come like us, and we need money.
We should start a voting session. We'll have them vote on whether or not they want us to revive Nate.
Yeah. If you watch this, vote in the comments below on whether you want Nathan back. And then, if not, we'll replace him every week with someone else until we find someone permanent.
Sock puppet, balloon, whatever. Whatever we got laying around that week.
Cheers. Tastes like milk.